Better.
Okay. Welcome to Us Watching Us. This is a episode of videos and live streams where we watch ourselves from 13 years ago, I guess, at this point. Yeah, it's been like 13 years where we traveled around the world and made a bunch of like travel vlogs before they were called vlogs. They were just videos back then. And we had spent a year and a half or so traveling around and filmed the whole thing. And we're going back now and watching it all for the first time and doing like a reaction type thing. And we are in the endish portion of the trip at this point. So we have entered, as of last week, Egypt. And you might be able to see that the screen just cut out and it came back. Great. We've already had a little bit of technical issues. This time, I got to find the right mouse. Okay, so I'm not going to go through everything, but we left from Virginia and did a little bit of Costa Rica, and then we did a whole bunch of Asia. Blah. And if you watch previous episodes...
that really summed it up hard.
We're all over the place in Asia. And then we did some Middle East. So in the recent episodes, we watched ourselves in UAE and Oman. And then last episode, we flew to Egypt. And we actually flew into Alexandria, which is up here in the Nile River Delta or whatever.
On the Japan Google Maps, when it shows the green, it's parks. So is that all green parks?
I think it just means fertile in this part of the world. Like it's like not desert.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I think when you're at this zoom level, I think that's what that means.
Yeah, because
Europe isn't all
the
parks.
whole bottom of Africa is a park.
I wonder actually if you can toggle like what kind of layers you're looking at or something.
It does look like you're still using Streamlabs. Well.
Yeah, Streamlabs gets used for things, but they're talking about the broadcast software.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyway, last week we flew into Alexandria, and this week we are going to be watching videos that we filmed in Cairo. What's interesting about this, too, is that the timing of this was in 2010, right before the Arab Spring. So none of that had taken place yet. We were there in October, I think. And then the Arab Spring happened the following spring. So where we ended up staying in Cairo was in this hotel that overlooked the square where all of the revolutionary protests and everything were taking place in Cairo. So I remember watching those on TV and being like, whoa, that was out the window that we were looking out at our hotel.
Yeah, I remember feeling a strong connection to something that I don't think I would have ever felt a strong connection to had we not done what we did and just being jaw dropped that's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of surreal to see that something familiar was having something so unfamiliar happen to it. Anyway, in this episode, we're going to be watching our time in Cairo, which also includes a visit to the pyramids, which I don't know mathematically where that is. Oh, here we go. Probably in this area, Pyramid Gardens, pyramid, I don't know, somewhere over here. It's actually sort of the pyramids are you think about this, Giza is where they're at, of course. Here we go, maybe down here. There's a pyramid. I don't know, there's pyramids all over the place. So, when people
type in pyramids,
it's gonna come up.
You might go right there.
It's Sphinx International Airport. That sounds...
You can fly into his butt.
So a lot of people have seen these pictures of the pyramids, and they're you think about them and you're it's in the desert out in the middle of nowhere, but then you see a picture from the other direction. It's up against the city. It's kind of both. They're kind of in a desert, but you can see city still from them. You know what I mean? They're on the edge of the desert. You don't remember this at all?
Nah.
But anyways, let's get into the first video.
This is vegetated
we don't have our headphones. Can you grab the headphones?
I will get the headphones and set them up.
Okay, here we go.
We took a short train ride from Alexandria to the capital of Egypt, Cairo.
Okay, so this is where we're staying in Cairo. We are on the 8th floor up there. I have wonderful memories of this place.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I really love this.
Sounds, the smells, the irritation that I had with the cleanliness of the room.
Yeah, it wasn't very clean.
Nah, and I remember asking if I could have a mop. and I mopped the room. I mopped the balcony. I did so much to make the room better.
But yeah, I have very fond memories of the place.
Great balcony. Windows.
And let me show you how creepy this is getting in here. This is pretty crazy. It was difficult to find when we first got here.
Ooh, I'm walking on my toes.
It's like we had a map, but the map sucked. So you gotta come back here. And you go through all this mess.
What are they doing?
And then you can either go up there or up here. I don't remember this part at all. This is another one of those the scariest elevator in the world things. And it will be here momentarily. Or not. I thought I said 1, but it said 7. My bad. And this one goes...
Aren't you on one?
It could be on G. Who knows how? I don't know how it works there. And it shakes, and it's
9 floors, and it's terrifying.
you really feel like you're going to die. All right, here comes the coffin of an elevator. You think it's still there?
Seriously, this is the scariest thing in the world. Oh. I was like, wow, the door opened on its own, but someone was already in there.
In the middle of our hotel. Our hotel goes like around this area, but this is like in the center of the building. Look at this. That's nice. So this is Cairo at night from our balcony, and you can see it's a pretty big balcony, oddly enough. Like
I cleaned it.
around this corner and then over here. And the air quality, I hope you can tell in the video, but it's really like mucky and you can't see any stars or anything. When you're walking around, it's bad. So like, this is like, I think that's American University is what it is. Mm-hmm. Like this is like a major square, like a major area of the city. I can't believe that we managed to stay there because we were traveling so cheaply. That I'm just surprised that we ended up in such a good location. It was a really good location, and the big museum is like across the street and stuff. And like again, this is where these huge protests were held. Tahrir Square, something like that.
I don't remember the name.
Air quality here is really, really awful, and we've been in some places that are supposed to have bad air quality, like Bangkok, but that's got nothing on this. Like you're like. It's like all in your lungs. It feels like you're smoking or something. So it's pretty nasty. I'm glad we're not going to be in Cairo for too many days, but I am excited to see all the things that it has to offer. And we have destroyed our room already, but this is the room we've got. And it's a pretty gross floor. It's not terrible, but I'm not trying to walk around in here without my shoes on. And we're doing laundry, so that's why everything's laid out. So we're not always total pigs. But the room is pretty interesting, really high ceilings, and we're on the 8th floor, and there's this rickety old elevator similar to the last one we had.
Chairs on the balcony, because the balcony is cool, but also because you could only get service, like you could only get Wi-Fi on the balcony.
Yeah, that's right. We could get Wi-Fi out there. The thing that was cool about it, maybe we'll talk about this, is that the city is very energetic and noisy and hectic. But we were up high enough that you kind of were like a little bit detached from it, but still could hear everything going on. There was something, I don't know if romantic is the right word, but there was just something like about it that was endearing or something. Thought I would just show what we've got looking out this window. The museum, Egyptian museum, I think, is right around this corner. And I think that's the Nile. Like right over here, you can't see it, but it's like right there. So anyway, we'll explore all that tomorrow, and I'm sure there'll be more video then. We had a bunch of technical problems, so we're gonna jump back into.
Bitch said had.
Hopefully no more technical problems. I put a fan on a thing, so let's hope. Crossing the street in Cairo is kind of like a game of chicken. She's doing really good. She got lucky there. See, she's kind of between cars. Somebody did let her across. I am very lucky because there are no cars coming, and this is a rarity. But let's see if I'm as lucky as I get across.
Oh my god.
No problem. This is a piece of cake this time. Okay, so this is the outside of the Egypt Museum, and this is like a block away from where we're staying. As you can see, there's like a million honkies here.
I just saw somebody doing this, and I was like thinking to myself, bitch, it's about to get hotter.
Yeah, there's a lot of lanes. Cairo is like a car-infested nightmare. As you can see, there's like a million honkies here. It's like honky paradise. And I don't think we're allowed.
We do love
outside, so
the
this
outside
might be
of the
all
museum.
What did you get regarding the museum? You gonna go check out some mummies?
Yeah, let's go over there first.
All right. Yeah, well, they won't let me take this in, so I'm gonna have to check this camera so you don't get any more footage of anything inside. But that's how it is. That's how it is.
We went to the museum, and it's a barrage of shit. There's a whole bunch of shit in that place, like more than enough for any archaeology fanatic to enjoy in an entire day. Like, there's so much stuff in there.
Thousands of items, easily tens of thousands of
items. Like, and we maybe saw like 1,000 that we could understand. The labeling is really bad in there. Like, it took.
I gave you a weird look.
Looking at Tutankhamun's like innards of his tomb because the labeling isn't there, but we figured that out, so we got to see
Yeah, I remember it as being a clusterfuck.
everything that was in Tutankhamun's tomb that they brought to this museum. We saw the mask, we saw all the jewelry, we saw the casing that they put him in, which it's like they made him a Russian doll. Like, they take him, they put him inside of a box, inside of another box, inside of a wooden box, inside of like a garage type thing, and then on top of that's another garage type thing, and then on that's another type of garage type thing. This guy had a fortress. So we saw that. And other things that were in there were just...
No.
Do we just give up? I mean, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to buy another thing. I really don't have the money for it at the moment.
Gigantic sculptures that we got to see and stand next to and feel inferior to because they're very, very big. And we also got to go into the mummy room, which was much more expensive than we would have liked, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, you had to pay extra money to go into.
Mummy room, and I guess I wasn't really expecting to be able
Forgot
to
about
see
that.
the faces and the heads of the people because I thought they'd be all mummied up and they would have like cloth over them, but you get to see the faces and their feet, and it tells you kind of parts about their embalming and how that may have changed their bodies and what they were during their lives, whether they were kings, queens, or priests and stuff. So you got to see how they were cared for, and most of them are looking pretty good for their thousands of year old ages. So that was scary. I didn't really feel very comfortable there, but I did it. And now we're heading out for some lunch.
Is that the first time?
Probably.
I love this meal.
Kushri?
Kushiri?
Kushri?
Something like
I'll
that.
probably say it.
I'm not really sure what this is called.
Maybe not.
But it's like a pasta and rice mixture, and it looks like it has not beans,
All the
but
great
I don't know.
things.
What are these little bread? I don't know. There's something. And then there's this crunchy stuff that might be meat, it might not be meat. I don't know.
Thank you.
And chickpeas, I guess, is what the bean-looking things are. Yeah, maybe. And then this is almost like exactly like a pasta sauce, like a red marinara. And you pour that on there, and then you've got these things, and this is really rather spicy, and this is just kind of an oily taste. It doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. And this is the only dish they make here. You walk in, you say small, medium, or large, and they bring out whatever it is you ordered. Those are the best restaurants.
It's the best.
Best restaurants. There's not a menu. No menu. It's very good, and it's kind of like, it reminds me of something like Chipotle or something, that kind of hearty feeling. And
Mom, this tastes just like your hamburger soup. It's really, really weird. That's all I really got, but they're doing that in Egypt somehow.
so Cairo is not exactly quite the dump that we had kind of expected from the way everybody had told us. It was, everything we had been told to expect. It's a bit like Phnom Penh, but a little bit more mature feeling, I guess.
Oh, is that a small goat?
It's a cat.
Oh, it's a
A lot
cat.
bigger.
Goat.
Dirty, but it's not like Delhi when we were there. Let's just put it that way. And there's this big beautiful bus station and everything looks really nice. So it really has got some pieces of it that are just kind of, you're surprised. You walk around the corner, you're like, oh, look at this big beautiful bus station. It's a surprise. So it's nice. So this is the Nile River. How about that?
Do you remember what we did?
You had to go talk to some mofo, get on a boat.
Okay, I didn't know if you even remembered this.
Ready to go on a cruise on the Nile for an hour, and it's cost us all.
Dude, look at my pants.
I sewed some of that shit up.
It's ripped on that side. It's ripped on this side. They're just like disintegrating. Mm-hmm. They were new when we left. Mm-hmm. I look great. There's a hole in my knee here. Mm-hmm. Like the material had just, it wasn't like I was getting them caught on things. The material was becoming so thin, it was just pulling apart.
All $10, and I'd like to point out that my pants are shredding apart, literally. I got these before we left, and this was a little tiny hole that I had from when we fell off a motorbike one day in November of last year. And keep in mind, it's September, I guess, almost October. And like, I'll sit down, and it's just because the fabric is so thin that it just goes whoosh, and just rips. And
that's why I didn't watch this.
Multiple times over here, it's tearing. So I'm really hoping that this lasts until the 22nd of October when we get on a plane and fly to the States. But it's starting to look like it might not.
I keep telling him that he needs to sit properly and not do this to himself, but it doesn't work.
Okay, anyway. So we're in one of these boats, and this is what it looks like in here.
It's a sweet
and this
table.
is the Nile, and this is the rudder, and I could rudder, I guess, if I wanted, but I guess I don't need to. But this is wind driven, so this could be interesting.
I said it was like $10.
Cheaper than $10, but I mean, let's be honest, it's going to be an hour. This guy's going to work. $10 seems about right, you know. So we'll deal with that. And there's another one, so I'll make some more video in a moment.
I remember being really chill. Like he just was like, whatever you want to do.
I got a thumbs up from the driver.
Keep going.
Oh, shit. That's our sail. Let's make it this way.
It looks like kind of like it says Fika. Leica.
Yeah. This is awesome. Alright, I'm gonna enjoy this.
So this building here is a Gold's Gym. And that's right on the Nile. It's pretty weird. And Katie keeps talking about how she wants to climb the sail. But I'm not sure if our the Capitan is going to be very happy about that.
Look at the Capitan.
Now we gotta look at the Capitan.
What does he think?
He is indifferent because I don't think he's paying attention. That's enough. He's watching now, doesn't care. So this area is Old Cairo, and this is where all of the Christians are essentially located, or all the churches and stuff. And
Dude, I remember finding like needles and stuff in this neighborhood.
apparently this is where the large population of Christians live, but that's only what our book says, and it says all sorts of stupid stuff, so who knows? Church, and it's closed, so we didn't get to go in, but
You could just tell.
The book say it was open.
the mood that we have about certain things, like we've become so adapted at traveling like that at that point, where there's just some like, I don't know, like maybe overconfidence or something in the way we just like bullshit.
Yeah.
Things. I don't know. It's just funny listening to that.
Really hurt. Oh shit! I have sunburn.
That mode.
the whole area is a lot cleaner than the rest of Cairo, which is interesting because it says it's Old Cairo. So usually you go to the old section and things get dirtier, but not so much here. So those streets are really wide and not crowded, and I mean there's still some trash on the ground, but it's not like other places. Not that that stuff is bad, it's just different.
All right, that was the first
Back to
episode.
the Sphinx International Airport. Pyramid of the Djoser.
All right, here we go. Here is part 2 of Cairo. I think this is when we go to the pyramids, because I think the 3rd episode is when we climb up that spire thing.
Oh. I did that. Did you use the Mario music again?
Some Mario music.
Got me last. What instrument is that?
It's a computer, probably.
Okay, so it's 7:47 in the morning, and we are trying to get to the pyramids today.
If I recall, they don't. Almost everybody goes on like tours, and we don't do tours. So we had to figure out how to get there, like on public normal transportation, and it was a bit like complex.
And that is kind of a go to this big area and try to find the right bus, and it's kind of not really written into what you have to do. So I'm not sure how we're going to find it, but I'm sure we'll figure it
I
out.
think you just figured it out somehow.
That's kind of back here
A knack.
to fight me. I don't know what that was all about. That was odd.
What?
Somebody
It's
wanted to
only
fight
been a
you.
couple of minutes, but I really wish you could see an above shot of what we're walking around in, and like we have no idea where we're supposed to actually be, so we're just kind of wandering around. It's this big, like a clover leaf basically, but it's like 3 clover leaves intertwined with each other, and there's fences everywhere, and if you go in the wrong place you're walking through human feces, and so this is it's kind of annoying, but I'm sure, in a minute it'll be fine. I'll be sitting on a bus. So what's interesting about this is like what we can devise is that this is where we're supposed to be standing, just because people pointed us over here. There's no bus stop here. Like, it's just the corner of the street. So I don't know. I don't know how anybody is supposed to know where or when they're supposed to be what. But the other thing that's a little difficult is none of the numbers are in English, or they're not using a Western script for their numbers, so it's all written in Arabic. And we know some of them, but we're a little unsure on 3, and that's one of the numbers we need to be able to read. So I'm not sure if they read and write numbers right to left as well as they do with their language. I'd assume they do, but I don't know. So we're looking for 355 or 357. So we just know that 5 will be in the middle, and we know that number. So kind of just looking for anything that matches that. So yeah, it's kind of exciting, definitely.
Yeah, so this whole bus station was just in the middle of a highway system. Intersections. Like in the middle of the intersection is just where all the buses go. It's like, what is happening?
We are making this super easy, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we are on a bus, and we're headed to the pyramids. We'll be there in like an hour and a half or something ridiculously slow. To be honest, we should have taken a cab. But it really wasn't that hard. We just had to stand there, and then the bus driver, he saw our white skin, and he knew what we wanted, so he stopped. And Katie wants to show us something.
That building right there, that's where we live. Right there.
Is this happening on a time? Like every so many minutes?
That's their college.
Mom goes to college.
Okay, so we got off that bus, and while we were on the bus, actually, we met this girl who is a local, and we got to talking to her, and she actually works at the pyramids. So she was on the same bus as us, and it was the first time she'd ever been on that bus. So like while we're going along, the bus driver starts barking at us in Arabic, and we don't speak Arabic, obviously, and she does, and she speaks really good English. So she's kind of communicating back and forth with the bus driver. And it turns out that bus doesn't go directly there because it's like a 357 with a slash instead of a 357 bus. we got to a bus station, and then we had to transfer. So she helped us with the transfer because she was going to the same place we were. We basically just followed her. And it's just really funny how quickly she can kick through things. Like, does this bus go where I want to go? how much is it? Okay, when does it leave? And then she can get on. Like, she can figure out all these things out really, really quickly. And it's just, I can't wait to be in a country where everybody speaks the language I can speak and be able to do things like that. It's really makes me jealous. But anyway, so
what are we doing? What are we doing here at Klein?
If I had to talk to a bus driver, it would be, I could get through that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, maybe.
And also, you don't have to worry about that shit in Japan because all the systems work properly.
Yeah, true.
It's not this kind of level of chaos.
Her for a bit, and we ended up walking up this hill towards the pyramids with her, and we got to talk with her, and she told us about working here, and we told her about the traveling and everything, and it was a good conversation. Really nice girl. And so the final product is, we're at a pyramid. That's a pyramid, and there's another one right behind this mountain. There's a third one off in the distance a bit. And what's interesting, and what nobody ever would really tell you, unless you were me, is that's a city. So we are definitely not out in the desert. Like, you are right there. That's the edge of Cairo or Giza or whatever. It's just one big mess of city that continues forever, it seems like. So that's it, and it's a little hazy, but it'll probably burn off a little bit as it gets warmer outside. And we are going to go explore, and Katie is working on buying the tickets. She is using her student ID. She buys one ticket and then goes back a couple minutes later and buys the other one with the same student ID.
I have a student ID.
And
How long?
2 minutes.
But you didn't do it exactly. The problem is you didn't stop.
Oh, gotcha.
You didn't start it exactly at the time, so.
same student ID. And
Yeah, you must have still had your VCU ID.
Yeah.
then we get a cheap price. And as long as the people at the gate don't ask me for my copy of my student ID, we're in good shape. So if they do, it could be embarrassing. But here we are, pyramids, let's do this thing.
I remember just watching all these girls in their different colors and just being entranced, kind of like, wow, this is awesome. It's like a parade.
I mentioned this in the past, but see all the colors that the girls are wearing? It's pretty awesome.
If you can see the people that are standing next to the pyramids, like that gives you a bit
Yeah,
of a
look
scale.
how little they are.
Step is the size of a human.
Yeah.
One.
This is really frustrating. I really don't know what to do about it.
Leave the door open?
There's a fan, but it's not heat at this point. There's a fan like blowing straight onto it. And like, I mean, it could be the cable, but then I just like wobble the cable around and nothing. It's like not the cable.
Yeah.
It's just the thing sucks.
Step is the size of a human.
Yeah, it's really
And then
big.
it just keeps going towards the sky. It's pretty ridiculous.
So here I'm gonna rant at the pyramids. You pay $20 to get in, and they still allow touts to come in, and every 2 seconds there's somebody that wants to just take your picture, or grab your arm, or pull you one way, or get on his camel, or take a picture with his camel, or sell you something. Like, I get it, I understand that that's how it is, but like when you pay $20 to get into something, you kind of expect that to be taken. Don't worry about it.
He's riding the camel.
But the good part of it,
Coming to tout you on the camel.
pyramids are all right. Like, you can hear a guy right now behind me. Excuse me. Take a picture of my camel.
There's a camel right behind you.
Yes, this character, he wants me to take a picture of his camel. He wants to charge me, but does he know it's free? Here is pyramids, little pyramid, city. Like, that is city right there, just right along the perimeter. So, not out in the desert. It's all camera magic.
Look at the itty bitty one.
She's really excited, but there's an even littler one here. And there's an even littler one in Fredericksburg.
That's true.
That's you.
It's me.
Do you remember what happened when you climbed up there?
You told me there were snakes everywhere. Like an asshole. You had to watch out for the snakes on the way down.
This is a little pyramid that's like from Civil War time that sits along the train tracks near where we lived in Virginia. Even people that live in that town don't really know about this. You got to kind of like...
Do you remember... Oh, sorry, I'm cutting you off. You have to know.
Oh, you got to like park in a certain place and like you got to know how to get to it. It's not very obvious. People who ride the train know, but nobody rides a damn train in America. But like most people don't know that this is there. What were you going to say?
Do you remember what it's for?
It's just a mile marker or something like that? No, I don't know, I guess.
It showed them where to drop mail off and packages.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's weird.
Their pyramids ain't got nothing on the Fredericksburg Pyramid.
That's true.
And here is the Sphinx.
I'm here.
So this is about as close as you can get to the Sphinx without, getting shot. And it's interesting. It's not proportioned like I thought it was. The head is a lot smaller. And I mean, I know a lot of it is eroded or whatever, but the head is a lot smaller than the body. Like it's kind of freakishly small comparatively. And the bottom half is probably, I'm assuming, was underground for a while because of the way it's excavated around. And it's kind of down in a hole. And the bottom half is really in good shape comparatively. And the whole thing itself, it seems a little bit small, but I think that being down the hole really does kind of affect the perspective you have on it. So it's still pretty amazing though to see this and then this pyramid, and it's a pretty amazing sight. So not a disappointment on the Sphinx front. So we're on the hunt. We're on the hunt for the Sphinxter. Let's find it.
That was the first time you told me.
It seems like there's no Sphinxter.
I'm gonna find it. I found it.
There it is. It's kind of like walking into the Forbidden City, only everybody's, not...
Way more like Jerusalem.
So yeah, the whole area just sort of feels a bit like a construction site, to be honest. Like, not just, this area is like they're doing something, who knows? But there's a lot of just random things getting put together. They're building a stage over here, and all these seats are for some sound and light show. Like, I'm not sure, it look like they just illuminate the monuments, and you can see some of the lighting down here. So it's a bit odd. I definitely didn't expect this atmosphere. I kind of expected to be in the city, but surprised about the construction. But heck, what it is what it is.
So we were just talking to this guy. He asked us to take his picture in front of the pyramids, and he exchanged the favor for us. He asked us where we were from. We said America. He's from Bulgaria. He asked us what state we were from. We said Virginia, and he looked surprised. And then he said, what city? And I said, Fredericksburg. And he said, oh, I used to live in Richmond. And I said, you lived in Richmond? So did I. He said, I used to work at King's Dominion. He worked at King's Dominion. And he's in Egypt, but from Bulgaria. And somehow we've seen him. It's a very small world. And King's Dominion is the #1 stop.
Wow. Yeah, that camel's on the move.
Don't even need a robot.
That's what it looks like when they run.
So this whole operation is just run fucking stupid. Aside from being able to come in, you're at the gate. You have to pay extra, which is a lot extra. It's like $6 extra to get to this pyramid. Like to go inside.
$6 extra is a lot. Well, if it was an hour to ride a boat along the Nile, that's what you got to gauge your numbers on. You know what I mean?
And then to get inside of the big one is like $20, and you can only go in like at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. or something, and you don't know what's in there, so is it worth it? I don't know. It's really dumb. But, so we asked at the gate when we first got here, where do we get a ticket to go in this one? Because it's cheaper, so we just go in this one and call it a day. And they were like, you get it inside. So we go inside, and we wander around for a while, and it's a long way from the main gate. And we get all the way in here, and we go in, and we're like, where do we get a ticket? And he's like, main gate. Like, what the fuck? So now we have to walk all the way back to the main gate in the sun to buy a ticket that we were told we were really gonna be able to buy in here. They just wouldn't sell it to us at the main gate. So anyways, so we walk all the way back out there, and we get our ticket, everything's fine. We walk all the way back in here to go in, and the guy's like, you can't take your camera inside. And we're like, well, what do we do with our camera? And he was like, I don't know, just leave it with somebody. Like, he's like, puts his hand out. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my camera, guy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you my $500 camera and I'm gonna just wander around out in there and I'm gonna expect it to be here when I come back. He's lost his damn mind. So he was like, just go in separate. So now, because we have a camera, Katie has to go in by herself and then she gets to come out here, I'll hold the camera, and then I'll go in by myself to see it, which kind of ruins the experience. And I don't know, this is just, it's really poorly done. And I mean, for something that's like their thing, you'd think that they would care, but I mean, they really don't. They can make some minor adjustments and make a lot more money and make everybody a lot happier. But, you know, such as things in second and third world countries.
When you go into the pyramid, it is like, it's up to about here, below the ceiling, so you have to bend down and go up and down these little like ladder walls the whole time, except for 2 rooms, so you're doing this a lot, getting really out of breath. And once you get to this big room, it just looks like one big room in a house, like an angled ceiling, and it's just a large room. And there's a tomb in there. Eric says there was a guy in the tomb when he was in there, which is crazy. And it was like,
yeah, some local kid had just climbed inside of it, I think, if I recall. He's just like sitting inside the tomb, which is a weird place to hang out, inside somebody else's tomb. You wouldn't do that if it was like a freshly dead person. But since it's a person from thousands of years ago, you're just like, whatever.
Well, I don't go and just like lay on people's graves and shit.
But once it's like old enough, then you stop. If for some reason time creates a disconnect to make it more okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
uneventful until you sit there and think to yourself, I'm inside a pyramid.
Yeah.
Oh my. So it was worth the money, but I would say that the Great Pyramid is not worth the $20 they want per person.
Unless it's something more substantial.
Total for what we just did, and that was definitely the right price for what we got out of it. It's been a great day at the pyramids, and it's time to go find some food. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I think I was mostly grumpy about the touts, and it just made me grumpy about everything. You know what I'm saying? Just realized I'm 41 now. Oh, it's your birthday? Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Today.
Heather. That's what it says. She's 41 now.
Happy birthday.
What the hell? Okay, last episode of Cairo. I don't think that the thing is failing on time.
No, it's not.
It's just random.
Yeah, I can probably turn the timer off. Bum, bum, bum.
We are currently in the Islamic area of Cairo. There's Islamicness everywhere, but
I actually have fonder memories of this than I do of going to the pyramids. Like being in this neighborhood. I remember a lot more from it too.
here it's very much centered. There's a mosque right here, there's a mosque over there. There are several mosques down the streets, and it's call to prayer right now, and prayers are coming from every single angle. They just stopped right next to us where it was really loud, so I'm kind of happy that it did, but now you can't hear it very well. But it's a pretty cool experience to be in kind of the epicenter of a religion when they're really doing their thing.
You would not want to have a hotel room here. It would be bad. You'd
Yeah.
never sleep.
No sleep for you. We just walked through a subway tunnel to get to the other side of the street, and you can hear the call to prayer and the horns of the cars under the ground, so even the dead know when to come. So these girls that are sitting next to Eric, we were just sitting here enjoying our water, relaxing, watching people go by, and one of the girls got Eric's attention, and she pointed at his water, and we got the impression that she wanted the water, but confusion happened and the conversation just ended. Then a few moments later, she got his attention again and pointed at the water again.
Just lift that kid by his neck?
Wouldn't take the water, so she got up, came over, and took Eric's water, walked back. She got his attention.
He's holding
No,
him.
I think he has his straps. Or his ears? What the fuck's he holding? Yeah, I didn't notice that when I didn't.
Did. Then a few moments later, she got attention again.
I think he just has his shirt in his backpack or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And pointed at the water again, and he offered it. Her friend wouldn't take the water, so she got up, came over, and took Eric's water, walked back over to her friend, and she then turned her back to us, drank some of the water, and then returned it to Eric. It was really strange, and we're not exactly sure why that happened.
And I've got a cold, so like, no, she has a cold? It was really weird. The whole thing is strange, but I'm not going to have any more of my water. She's speaking to us in French, which is even more confusing because we don't speak French.
It's been a very odd moment.
So if you're ever curious, this is what it looks like when we fill out postcards for everybody. We just kind of sit wherever, and here is this where we're sitting, and it's kind of a neat little area of town, actually. It's really unique. And this is Katie filling out postcards, and that is what it's like. This is the post office, by the way. I don't know what's going on here. It's like a little tram.
It's like a Hollywood set, but not on Hollywood.
£4 Egyptian pounds for this little bucket of what I think is couscous.
That's what he said. He said couscous.
He said couscous? Okay, couscous.
It's like powdered sugar?
Raisins in it. Then on top of it, is that powdered sugar?
Powdered sugar.
Oh, so it's not like a hearty snack, it's a delightful snack.
I remember it being really good.
Liquid on it, but I'm not sure what the liquid was. So
It's delicious.
I'm really excited about it now that it's a sweet treat. And how'd it go?
Oh my god.
Is it good?
It's really, really good. It's like eating candy.
Onward. I gotta stop this video, I gotta eat. This tastes just like cream of wheat. It's outstanding. Egypt is known as the city of 1,000 minarets. Minarets are towers that usually end up coming out of a mosque in some cases, but others they come out of gates. We are at a gate right now. We're going to get up into a minaret, but I wanted to show you. There's a minaret right here. This is a mosque over here with minarets as well. Many more in that area. I turn around. There's a minaret. Minaret, 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 minaret. There's a minaret over there, right there. And they're just all over the place. And this is the one that I'm getting ready to climb.
This is one of the coolest moments of the entire trip. Like, top 5.
So here we go.
I don't mean to Egypt, I mean the whole trip.
We go into this little creepy alcove and into the dark.
Do you remember the ladder up the top?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me being out of breath. I think I just did 100 of those stairs. Good Lord. And it turns into this, which isn't dangerous at all. Yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Oh, thanks for the bits.
Yeah, so this little bit here is pretty terrifying, actually. You're really
Look at...
and it wobbles a lot, and it doesn't feel like it's, I mean, you can see where it's breaking in some places, too.
Eric, I'm climbing.
So...
Listen to the road. Look at this. I mean, you're really high up.
Okay, to give you an idea of what we're doing, right now we're in the opposite one of these. This is a minaret, and we're in the one directly next to it. And to give you an idea of how high up we are, I'm going to hold on to this, and then I'm going to show you over the edge.
Jesus.
So now you may understand why that metal ladder was a little bit scary. How you doing?
Good.
Is this too high for you?
No, the ladder is the scary part. The height isn't the scary part. It's just that ladder.
Behind Katie is a mosque. You can see the
carpet.
The carpet where the prayers would take place and stuff.
Terrifying.
Look at the view. This is Cairo. It's really rather amazing looking from up here.
You can tell I'm like not comfortable because of the way I'm shaking the camera.
Eric moves much faster than I expect him to move sometimes. He's run all the way down the building and all the way up that building in like 4 minutes. Probably less than that. This is what that dangerous ladder looks like from the outside. You can see it shaking. Like,
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I realize I'm gonna have to climb down that alone. Oh. It's always nice to have moral support there when you're scared.
We did this just to take pictures of each other. And all I had was the DS.
Popping out the top here any second. Look,
Yeah.
any second. There we go.
It was amazing. I love this moment.
Cool. If you can see this taller building right here, our hotel is like maybe 5 or 6 blocks away from that. So we've gone a considerable distance from where we're staying, but it's pretty cool to see it from this far.
Oh, yeah, the birds.
Yeah, these big flocks of birds.
The birds flying around in the sky here are just majestic. This trip has shown me that birds are pretty amazing. You always find them in the, oh my god, the call to prayer. Oh wow. Things just got majesticer. This would be one of the
I'm having a physiological response to this.
Oh my. I have goosebumps.
You got them again? Yeah. Goosebumps through time.
If you didn't know what time it is, it's time to pray.
It was like very loud.
Yes.
And like, it's not just the call to prayer going off at one of the mosques. They all go off at the same time, like within 10 seconds of each other, they all start up. So it's just like, it would be like everywhere around you because there's so many mosques, because that's the neighborhood we're in. It's just like tons of them are there. So it was just like blanketed with call to prayer sounds over and over and over. And it was nuts.
So going up these minarets was a bizarre highlight. Like, I didn't expect for this to be awesome, because going up in things has kind of gotten boring, but this is different. It's exhilarating up there. Like, you feel like it's gonna topple. Like, it just feels like it's really skinny or something. And the call to prayer was just incredible. It's like an explosion of noise. So I think that for me, this might have been the best Cairo moment.
In your personal
In
opinion?
my personal opinion. I'd say if you come to Cairo, you have to come up and go in these minarets, especially if you can do it during call to prayer. Blood out. And here's the side of those minarets from street level.
They don't look as tall from street level as they did when you were up and putting down.
They look tall. This is a great start to whatever this is.
Yeah, where you have the camera.
Our hotel room, not our hotel as much. Our bathroom is in here. Eric's in there right now, so I can't really show you what's going on in there. But it's just a bathtub and toilet. But this is the room that I'm in love with.
The corner, the tall windows and stuff, the doors is amazing.
Epically high ceilings with one of the best fans we've ever met. Thank you, fan, for being awesome. It was quite hot, and then we realized we could open the doors as wide as we possibly could, and a good breeze goes through the entire day, through the entire night. Like, last night we were sleeping, and Eric was like, it feels like we're camping, and that was really cool. The beds kind of suck, but it's good for me. I do all right, but Eric is too big for the bed, but he makes it work. Over here is the internet cafe. That's why this chair is just facing this little stoop right here. If you put the computer right there, you have internet. This is the laundry room where I hang dry all of our laundry after.
That green towel, I took that with me to Hokkaido. We still have it.
After I wash it. And that goes pretty well. It dries pretty good out here. This is our view of Cairo. That's the American University right there, so lots of people going and studying and whatnot. Busy intersections, constant honking. In the far distance over there, you can see the Islamic area of Cairo, which is filled with minarets and mosques. And then the rest in between is just the nitty-gritty of Egypt.
So these are Micarabias? Micarabia. How do you feel about it?
What's the end? Okay, I gotta pee and I'll be back.
Okay, we'll look at the pictures when you come back. All right, how are you guys doing? What's up? It's just you, me, and Teresa. Yeah, the climbing up that minaret, really one of my favorite memories, like, period. I don't think that the video kind of didn't show quite, it was like emotional almost, like just like how overwhelming it was. It was really cool. But yeah, I've been looking forward to seeing that. And like I said with the pyramid stuff, it's just super touristy stuff. Touristy stuff in Egypt is sort of a bummer, to be honest. It just gets ruined by the aggressive like touting that happens there. And that will continue probably in the next episode as well, I think. Too cold. Mm-hmm. It is a lot of fun. The street climb up there. Yeah, we had to pay like $1 or something. It was really cheap. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, anybody can just climb up them. I remember it being like, maybe there was like a time limit or something. I don't remember exactly how it was.
But there was no one there with us.
Yeah, we were alone.
Could you imagine if there were a lot of people trying to go up that ladder together?
Oh God. Yeah, but yeah, it was sketch.
Real sketch.
Okay. Photos. Yeah, I mean, it's like you gotta go see the pyramids. It's like you gotta do it, but it's just, it's too much, man. People getting up on your business. Okay, this is, I think this is from our hotel room, maybe?
Just looking down.
Looking down,
Kind
yeah.
of like these shots.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
Mm.
You know, it'd be cool if you could run a cable between the two buildings, put the camera in the middle.
Mm.
That would give it a really cool, like, perspective. It's cute. It's hard to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Is it upside down?
And backwards.
And backwards?
Mm-hmm.
But only some of it is backwards? Is that what direction do E's go?
It's upside down and backwards.
But the E's are right. Right? How do you write an E?
The text is upside down, but the word is backwards. So the E will still remain in the same direction.
It's like that sticker at our old apartment.
Oh, the one... man, you showed how stupid you were. Kiko was like, what? I don't even know how to explain that, so you explain it if you want to.
I don't really remember. Did you guys time going up the minaret so it would be at the time? No, it was a coincidence. We didn't know it was going to happen. That's why it was so magical. Yeah. Is Katie out with a Sphinx on the...
Somebody recently asked me what my favorite picture of you is. And like, who's doing that? But this is a nice picture.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. No, Z's, stop it.
Yeah, stop it with that. You were pretty happy at the pyramids. You were in a good mood that day.
I'd imagine I complained about the same things you complained about. He let me get up there pretty high.
Yeah, I did. Also, of note, you're not wearing your other shoes anymore. You had to buy new shoes in Oman because you lost your other ones.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like. This is like Nile riverfront property.
Mm-hmm. It was a great sunset that day.
That's inside the hotel. Like it's like in the center area.
Mm.
It's pretty gnarly. Kind of looks like you wouldn't see something quite that bad inside of like Shibuya or something, but we got to get a painting of our house and hang it inside the house.
Okay. My parents had one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I kind of want to get that one and hang it inside this house.
It's from the
I
pyramids.
wonder which parent has that. Seems like a mom thing.
That's the thing you should leave for the house. I wonder if they are dressed up in a more boisterous color because they're going to do something, or if this is normal streetwear for these girls. If are they dressed in a certain way because they're like, we're on a field trip to go do this thing, so that has influenced how they're dressed or whatever. But regardless, it was cool to see.
Can you buy Legos in like where you decide all the colors and pieces that you want?
You want to make
Isn't
a Lego
there,
house?
Yeah. Isn't there like a...
You might be
you go
able
there?
to. I don't know.
It'd probably be expensive, but could be good. This is a great picture. You and Freddie Mercury.
But it was just like, you know, these people just come up to you and like put a thing on you, and then they try to get money out of you. But at least he looks
And
like
then
a badass.
I would just fuck around with them.
Yeah. You can tell I'm kind of annoyed. I'm not a big fan of people touching me. And clearly that guy touched me. Yeah, you look really perky this day. I'm surprised by that because it was so hot. And there was like logistical things that were annoying. Like with like, usually that kind of stuff would kind of get you in the same mood I ended up in.
I'm surprised I also don't look so sweaty.
Maybe early in the day. Yeah, so they had some sort of light show at nighttime. There's like, they do like some sort of like laser light show or something. That's what all this stuff was set up for. We took this picture of this girl because the fact that she had a camera on a stick blew our minds at the time.
Yep.
It was the first time we've seen a selfie stick. And we've been traveling at that point for a year.
What year was this?
This was 2010. So like selfie sticks didn't exist until around that time. This caught our eye, which is surprising, right?
Are people still using selfie sticks? I know they're forbidden from places like USJ.
Yeah. But yeah, just the fact that we saw that that caught our eye. I remember taking a picture of it. I was like, we need that. We need one of those things to film. We ended up buying one eventually, but now I don't use one.
Reenactment.
Yeah.
My eyes aren't open enough.
Your nose is too present.
Yes.
I'm annoyed at this point about something. Like, it's very annoyed face.
So happy with himself.
I don't even remember. Was this going into the Sphinx area or out of the Sphinx area or something?
Yeah,
like they funnel you through this?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, people being careless with selfie sticks is definitely annoying. You gotta be careful with your gear. That's a cool picture though. Wonder that the Bulgarian guy probably took it. Because we wouldn't have handed a camera to a tout.
Yep. Got a picture of your camel, sir.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a nice ass.
That seems out of place.
Does it?
Yeah.
Seems like he's in his normal head.
And it also seems like he's been segregated in some sort of way.
You can't have him with the camels, clearly.
Eric, look deep into his eyes. Waffles. Waffles. I'm gonna make waffles.
I also find this interesting that if you were to write that now, you'd flip the names. Mm-hmm. But it was before there was an order to the name.
Put in there.
Yeah.
Were we Eric and Katie to people? I think to my family we were Katie and Eric.
We were Eric and Katie to you.
Yeah.
That's what you wrote. You can get away from the crowds, by the way, or at least
just
when
walk
we were
on
there.
the other side of it. Like take 20 minutes to walk to the other side. All the people who don't want to deal with that shit, they're not over there.
So you can have a moment just outside of this thing and be completely alone. It's not like super, super crowded everywhere, but it's also a huge area.
Why do I not have that horseshoe?
That's a good question. Yeah, look how big this thing is. Mm. I think you're allowed to climb up a certain level, but they don't want you going past a certain point. I don't know. I remember how they enforced it.
That's sassy. Is that street worker? What's happening here?
What, the dog?
Yeah. Wow.
Just chilling, man.
This is a great picture. Go back to the other one. Wow. And now flip back to the other one. I like the zoom in. Look at the balls.
Everybody looked at the balls. You're not supposed to say it, though.
You always say it.
I always tell you.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't tell a bunch of strangers. I don't tell a crowd. I'm telling like everybody look at the balls. I'm like, hey, Katie, check out that dog's balls. I play it cool.
I played it cool. Everybody in this group's like, yeah, I'm looking at the balls.
It's pretty cool. I think they take all those in and out every day.
Ooh. I guess they'd have.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Seems dangerous. Seems like you could break something.
Watch this guy for a little while.
Yeah, he's like doing tin work, I guess.
Seemed really prideful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was like kind of outside of the tourist universe, so he was friendly. The people inside of the tourist universe in Egypt are difficult, but everybody outside of it was really friendly. Like the girl that we met on the bus, she's like super friendly. Like she was really nice. Just show how big that thing is.
Mm. I wonder what the tilt of the moon means.
Mm.
Or the ring, or crab claw, or whatever's going on.
It's a moon.
I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's a bathroom?
Or is it the thing in the background, like the...
I'm not sure why I would have chosen... I think I might have mistakenly included this photo.
But it's still interesting just to see a slice of life.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we obviously know why this was chosen.
Jeez.
Is it getting better the closer you get, or scarier?
Why not both?
Screenshot, make that the background of the TV.
Oh, God.
Every time
Gives them nightmares.
turns on the TV.
Freaking daggers, man.
one jump ahead of the... All this says is Aladdin songs to me.
So this is probably going up in the minaret, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yes, that's all I had for a camera was my DS. So that's Katie in the minaret.
That ladder's insane.
Yeah.
There's the mosque next door.
Look at the roofs. And we go.
Just junk on them.
Yeah. You remember in the next episode when we go to Luxor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be more about that. If I went back to Cairo, I'd do this again. I'd go back exactly to the same place and try to time it. So, same situation.
What if you found out that they had fallen?
I'd be bummed.
Yeah, me too.
We could look them up. It's called Bab Zuweya.
Bab Zuweya.
B-A-B. Are you going to look it up?
Yeah. You're looking at me like you want me to look it up? B-A-B?
Yeah. Z-U.
Mm-hmm.
W-E.
Mm-hmm.
Y-L-A.
It wants this.
Okay, yeah, try that. Look at the reviews. It's got 4.7.
Yeah.
1,300 reviews.
1,300 people.
Yeah, it looks like it's still a thing.
Yeah, totally cool. Well, what's this? Shit we didn't see.
Yeah, I feel like something about it, there were like aspects of it that were closed or something. How do you spell it again? Zuela, there we go. The internet can hear me. Let's look at the reviews. And let's sort by lowest. They racket tourists so bad. I always like looking at bad reviews of things that I think are amazing. Now you can see the minarets. People talk about like other things, like Uber rides that didn't go right or whatever.
Wow.
But anyway.
God. Really is scaring me.
Yeah, I'm glad it's still like a thing that people are getting to enjoy. Yeah, like we couldn't go inside or something. There was something happened where the timing wasn't right. I don't remember what it was. But the area was amazing.
Seems interesting, like even the photos we're seeing now don't show multiple people up there. So I wonder if it's
Maybe
just that they restrict it or that it really is not as visited.
This looks like it's been taken from here. There's a person there. Maybe, yeah, there aren't. You're right. There's no pictures of anybody in the minarets.
Like up where we went.
Yeah. And we didn't like break any rules.
Yeah, there was no
like
signs.
we were allowed to go up there.
You're not allowed to go. But I can see people going, nah, fuck that.
Okay, this is a picture from in it.
Nobody.
This is up high too. This is up higher than this level.
But
this is like, there's just nobody.
There's that one more and then the top.
Get the chat up on this now because the battery has died on the other thing. Anyway, back to our photos. Yeah, I'm surprised though that there's not.
What was that colorful thing?
Somebody did a painting.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway.
That's me.
Yeah, it's an awesome picture. Even though it's on the DS, it's very cool. The silhouette.
I guarantee you clicked. Because I'm standing still.
I clicked.
That you clicked from the one minaret to tell me
to
stay where I was.
Yeah. Bunch of old cameras. Yeah, we saw this at some point. I thought it was in the Christian area for some reason, but maybe I'm remembering, but that's like pretty sketch.
Mm-hmm.
We took these pictures specifically to remember how to make it, and you have made it for me a couple of times. And the last picture is you've written down. That's your handwriting, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You've written down like how to make it. This is so like old timey now to write down a recipe. Think about that. Nobody writes down recipes. You just Google it and then scroll past everybody talking about their afternoon, like the mood you have to be in to enjoy the meal. Get to the recipe.
Like the perfect wine to pair with your donut or something.
All right. That's another episode of us watching Us in the Bag. We'll be picking up next week from, we're going to be going south in Egypt to Luxor, which is another famous area that's got some famous, like old-timey, it's like thousands of years old. It's mega old-timey Egyptian stuff. And of note, if you haven't seen the episode, there is probably an interesting story that will come out of us about the bus ride. I don't know if you remember, but the bus ride was wild. Like an overnight bus ride.
I might remember the bus ride.
And then we get to go and see the Nile River from above and stuff, and it's a really cool experience. It came out. It was worth going down for sure. It was very cool. So we'll be doing that next week, and then probably the following week finishing Egypt, and then moving on to Jordan. So that's the general schedule. And then this week, this Thursday, I plan on streaming Tokyo Game Show. So it'll be morning time in Japan, Thursday. So however that works out for wherever you're at. I'm not exactly sure what time it'll start. I have to figure out how far away it is and what time the thing opens and all this stuff. And I don't know where I'll start streaming. I haven't figured any of that out yet. So that's on the docket. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream on Sunday. We'll see. It'll depend on because of the stream on Thursday. It's going to be like an all-day thing. It's going to kind of mess up my schedule a bit. So this might be a no stream Thursday thing, or maybe like a morning thing and a short thing or something. I don't know. But that's.
What do you mean no stream Thursday? You are streaming on Thursday.
No, on Sunday. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I am streaming Thursday. Sunday is questionable, like my normal Sunday stream. So we'll see how it goes. And that's it. You ready to go to bed?
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, me too. All right. Yeah, we're going to take off. Thanks, everybody, as usual, for hanging out.